My name is Billy Xabela from Zolani. I stay at F6 Pofana Avenue. So originally, I'm a born of the Western Cape of Poland. I was never been in a homeland since 1946. I was born but in 1946, 13 March, in Worcester, Potter Street. So when they started to remove what they used to say Bantus during those times, my parents and grandparents were the first to be removed to the township which was called Zwelethemba, with two names. It was called Zwelethemba Ikwezi. So I grew there. I started school also there. Everything, my life, what can I say? How I grew there, and I was a schoolboy, and from there, a churchgoer at the Anglican Church. I went to all my necessary things that I was supposed to do in Worcester, Zwelethemba, which is circumcision, marrying, taking wife, have a house. I started also there in Zwelethemba. I came here in Ashton, 1993. I came here in Ashton due to certain circumstances, and I met the people because I was very much interested in farming and stay on farms. Fortunately, I met guys like these guys who went out now here, but they were still young, but their parents were with me. We started to do goat farming, piggery. I was doing it here in Zolani, and they were doing it at their farms. They were on the farms there in Bonneville, others in some of the farms around here. So we met there by changing. When you want a pig, you're going to give the other one something else. And it's how I started to know the life of farm workers and farming. But I never worked as a farmer. And then I was so interested. When I go and visit on Saturdays, I saw some of them were struggling, but they were working. And the treatment was not so good. Not that it's politics, but the system that were used by the farmers, because you have to, if I'm working on a farm and married, my wife and my children have not so much in my house because the house belongs to the farmer. Anytime, if the farmer can, or I die, if I can die working on the farm, my wife and my children must vacate that house for another person who can come and work and stay on that house. So it's when I saw, no, this is not fair, it's unfair. And by moving around, I met some guys in Paarl, Wellington, Worcester, Durance, Rosenwald. Also those people were seeing this pain of the farmers. And we started to negotiate, and we started to form that union. And we went around and we mobilized people. Because when you are expelled, even on the farm, there's nothing that you are going to get. The farmer will put you out from that house, whether it's raining or not raining, whether it's hot or not hot, but you must leave that house. And it was terrible. It was not acceptable. And when you go and speak on behalf of a person, you cannot, because by that time, the farmers used to use a consultant. If you are an owner of the farm, you are not going to speak to us. You are going to send a consultant or make an arrangement that we meet the consultant. The consultant will speak on behalf of you. Now, we felt that that's not fair, because the consultant is not the owner of the farm. The consultant is being employed now to defend the farmer. Whether there's anything wrong on the farm, the consultant will come and speak to the farm workers. So we tried and fight. Even the salaries were not good until 2012. And we started to negotiate about the salary. And we met a lot of people, what you call OPAOC and the other organizations, Women on Farm and all that. We discussed these matters, and we decided to call a strike of wage increase, that we wanted that they must give the farm workers 1,500 a month. That was our demand. But unfortunately, before we even call the Minister of Labor, I just forgot her name, Mrs. What, she was there. We had the meeting in Cape Town almost for 2 days, Friday, Saturday. There was no better outcome. They refused to give the workers, farm workers, that 1,500 per fortnight. But at last, they agreed for 1,200. And we said, okay. And the workers said, okay, they will accept that 1,000. So I think these guys also touched that part of and now the life, it was, on other farms, the life was good, because other farmers, they were not all the same. Other farmers were giving the people, they were what you call electrical payment for the house, water, they would get those things free. And some farmers gave their workers better houses, and they assisted their children. If the child have passed the standard 10, or which we call grade 12, they assisted to send the children to universities or technical school colleges. But the other farmers, it was vice versa. The other farmers, if your child is more than 21 years and he's not working, or is not a school goer and he's not working on the farm, he must leave the farm. He cannot stay with us, you see. If your son maybe goes to work in Cape Town or where, and is coming by his own car, he's not supposed to stay there. That was not a good idea, and we fought for that, because it's your child. He's coming for a weekend. He's coming to his parent or her parent. Now, where must he go to? And then we try to fight those problems. But even it was not only for these black or colored farm workers. Even there were white workers who were not well treated by the farmers. They were foremen and all those things. At the end, they also came to us and bring forward their grievances, you see. And we had no problem. We say, you are a white one, you are a colored one, you are a Xhosa or you are a Sotho. We accepted all the grievances or challenges that they are facing. In other cases that we also met on the farms, there was that DOP system. After the farmers finished working during the week, whether it's when they are going to be given a drop of wine. And those who are not drinking, they will take those drop and they give to their other brothers or uncles at home. And we said, no. Because at the end of the day, when we asked, some farmers said, we cannot say a lot because they are doing favors for these workers, because when they are finished and they are tired, they give them drop system. We said, we are killing the people by giving drop system. Instead of that drop, you can add, whether it's 5 rand, maybe a liter is 5 rand then, or 2 rand. You can add it on their salary. The other farmers said, no, and you cannot tell us. Now, as I said, you don't speak to the farmer direct. At that time, you'll have to speak through the consultant. And it's not a day-to-day you meet the farmer and you are going to meet the consultant even today. Maybe it can be next week, because the consultant is also busy, is not always available. You see. But even now, there is, as you had a discussion with this group of guys, some of them, they cannot say anything on their right. Yeah, the farmer will say, I built them houses, I gave them houses, but that doesn't mean that you can treat them the way. If a farm worker is sick on the farm, he must first, you go to your work and report, but the farmer is not going to, you stay far away from town. You must see by yourself how you reach the medical clinic or a doctor. There are few farmers that will take you with their buggies to see a doctor. Most of them, they have to struggle for themselves, hike to see a medical doctor, or it's worse if they had fight over the weekend. Oh, then that is terrible. If you are not a favor of the farmer and you didn't start the fight, maybe the one who is the favor of the farmer is going to be defended by the farmer. But by the end of the day, as I'm saying, even today, there are few farm workers who are still staying on the farm, whether they've pensioned. They have to go out, come to the township and look for places. Now, how do you going to pay the rent and you are a pensioner now? But whilst you are strong and the farmer is always happy with you, he do everything for you. He can give you his buggy, you can go everywhere with his buggy whilst you are strong and working. But when you are aging, they push you aside. So there are those kind of problems that we met on the farm. Until today, as I'm saying, there's no change, of which we were asking the farmers that whilst you are working, if you are more than 20 years or 10 years, why don't they give you a piece of land and help you to build yourself a house there, and you keep on doing your small farming, because we are used to farm. Even as I'm saying now, there's no farmer that have given a farm worker a piece of land on his farm, on his land. They don't want. But forgetting that these people, they are boosting the farmer's economy. And the economy of the farmer goes to the South African government. That's the story I can tell you about farm and the life of farm. Then I can tell you the other story. As I said, I'm not. And it's when I learn about, you see, about these herbs. This one, they call it wynriet, maybe you know it. I didn't bring all this stuff. And then this one, It's the same size as aloe. But they use this one for different cases. They use it as umuti, they wash, they do everything with this one. They vomit also. Piece of them, they use it, mix it with other motifs, and they vomit. And then this one, you know it also. This one was very much important during 2019, 2020. We'll remember by 2020 we had that what they call COVID. People were selling this thing like sweet cakes, because you have to put it in a pot and it boils, and you, what do they call it? You cover yourself. They said it opens your chest and your nose, and you drink a little bit of it. As a result, during that time, it was very scarce, because people were running all over. They were looking for this, and it was expensive. But now you get it everywhere. So this is one of the plants that I know. There are other plants that I couldn't bring, because these ladies asked me about herbs and plants that are being used by people. So if they had asked me yesterday, I would have gone to the mountains and get for you the other plants. There are also plants, as they call, what is this plant? So almost there are a lot of other plants that I could have bring it with me today. But so far, I'm finished with my story, sir.